This is a 2026 Ram 2500 Laramie Mega Cab. And if you own a 3/4 ton truck, this is a video for you. I borrowed this truck from Garff, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in West Valley, Utah. This truck is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys see some of the options and features on this build. And if you're in the market, be sure to ask for Josh. At the very top is the description. Base price is $78,875. And then here's a short listing of the standard features on this truck. Be sure to pause so you can see more. Starting off the options is the paint for $295, which is the Granite Crystal Metallic. Fifth wheel and gooseneck towing prep group is $645. Bed utility is $845. That's a must-have too because of the bed lights, deployable bed stuff, and spray in. Laramie level 1 is $945. And then front rear rubber floor mats is $235. Destination is $2195 for a total price of $84,370. And remember, this truck does have a 10-year warranty because of the build date. Some of you guys may remember I did a video on the biggest advantage of owning a 3/4 ton truck. And I've also done quite a bit of videos on Ram fixing the biggest issue with their 3/4 ton Ram pickups, which was basically the payload capacity. Now, I've actually done 2 videos today on Ram 3/4 tons, and I'm gonna break down a few things for you. Number one, if you're buying this truck, you're probably buying it because you don't plan on towing often or heavy. That's first and foremost. If you're someone looking at 3/4 ton, you're not looking to tow much more than, I would say, 12,000 pounds, right? But the other issue I've seen with both of these trucks is they're running the tire pressure at 80 PSI. Now, even on the 1-ton trucks, it's typically 60 out front, 80 in the rear, because max PSI gives you max carrying capacity for the tire. Now, if you were to come up to this truck here, these are 18-inch wheels. Right, the tire capacity is 3,640 pounds at 80 PSI code. Now, if you run it less than that, that number is going to go down too. Now, here's something you have to understand too. If you're looking at 18-inch wheels, you could run this tire pressure 60 out front, 65 in the rear. If you're looking at 20-inch wheels, it's 65 PSI all the way around. But on this truck, whenever the dealer did the PDI process, the guy just went to the tire and ran it at 80 PSI. Now, here's what I'll tell you. 80 PSI does give you better stability. So obviously adding more air to the tire is going to give you a little bit more of a stiffer sidewall, which means you're not going to have as much sway. That's why if you're planning to max tow, you definitely want to run those tires at max PSI code for sure. But yeah, if you're buying your truck, before you take delivery, have the dealership drop that air pressure down if you don't really plan on towing, really. Because right now, I mean, most people aren't really going camping in the wintertime. And I figured I would just make this point because this is the second truck I've seen today at max 80 PSI. But we'll drive this truck today because this one does not have air suspension. And I haven't driven one in a while without that. The one I drove today had air suspension. So I feel like it'd be a good comparison for me to do. Now, one good thing about the Laramie is it now has the premium headlights, just like the Limited and the Longhorn. In the past, it had the same headlights as the Bighorn, basically. Love the front grille design. A little bit of chrome there. Adaptive cruise control does come standard. However, you guys know Ram loves to nickel and dime you. So if you want 360 camera on one of the highest trim levels, you still have to opt for that. And it's the same for the Limited and Longhorn. So don't feel too bad if you're looking at Laramie. You guys see down below, you have your fog lights. Those front parking sensors do actually protect the side of the truck too. Painted bumpers come standard. And if you want chrome, you have to opt for that now. And I'm okay with that because I think most people prefer painted bumpers. This is the standard hood. If you did get Night Edition, that would give you the Sport Performance hood. And solid front axle. Full drive is an option on this truck unless you're getting that Mega Cab. Now here's a quick peek at the tread of the tire. And in case you missed it, these are the Firestone Transforce HT2s, okay? 8-lug wheel. What do you guys think about that wheel design? Not my favorite, but it's not terrible. These are 33.2 inches in height and 10.8 inches in width. I had to look it up actually because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Not a lot of chrome on the side. just on your badging and your mirror caps. Some of your lighting, turn signal, more lighting here. Top and bottom mirrors are heated and power. Painted door handles with smart key. I would like to see either power deployable running boards, because I don't really like fixed running boards as much as I used to. I like the high clearance steps that the competitors give, and I think Ram does have rock rails available if you're getting like a Power Wagon or a Rebel trim. Now here's where we're going to fill up at. 31-gallon fuel tank, 7.5-gallon DEF, and you can see those coils right there. Liner out back, thank you Ram. Also with that bed utility, you guys saw what you were getting. You got this guy here. Also, if you step in, you can see that spray in and bed light. So it's not a great deal, but it's not a bad deal, because those are all good things to have. Fifth wheel prep package is there. You also have a 7 and 4 pin with a 400 watt power plug. You guys see here, you got to go to that level 2 to start upgrading some of the other nice features on this truck. We have that power glass with defrost. What do you guys think about the rear? I like it. A little bit of chrome for that Ram badge. Parking sensors, class 5 hitch. Another 7 and 4 pin. LED lights come standard on these, by the way, too. You guys see that spare tire? Okay. 342 rear, anti-spin. And here's a side view of this truck. This is the 6.7 liter inline 6 turbo diesel Cummins, 430 horsepower, 1,075 pound-feet of torque, and 8-speed transmission behind it. So they fixed the Cummins. I've said this many times. They've done a lot of nice updates to this engine, like it has cast iron block, CP8 fuel pump, which probably does fix some of the issues that its predecessor had, which was the CP4. They went back to the CP3 with a mass recall, and then they went back to the CP3 in 2021, I believe. So there's been a lot of jumping around with the fuel pumps, but you guys understand the fuel standards here in America suck. So that's part of the reason why. And I've done some other videos discussing like B20 and B5. Avoid those fuels at all costs. Try to get something like R99 or diesel number 2, and make sure that they're not trying to mix that crap in your diesel, because I'm telling you, that stuff is not good. So if you're someone that drives often, tows often, maybe it won't matter as much. But if you're someone that lets your truck sit for long periods of time, you want to try to avoid any type of biofuel diesels. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. Ram did not change much with this refresh, because I would say the other ones just kind of caught up with the overall design with this. I think Ram is still okay to keep running this interior, but unfortunately the cab is small, and I know someone's going to say in the comment section, but regardless of how you look at it, this mega cab is big back there, so it makes up for that. Black headliner, no sunroof. And when you think about the pricing of this truck, it's really not that bad, because you guys know Ram loves their discounts. Power pedals, and that's what's nice, because you don't have a telescoping steering wheel, you have the power pedal, so it does make up for that. Now this one does have the 6-passenger configuration. I haven't done one of these on a Laramie in a long time, so let's go ahead and check this out. There is a USB right there, 3 cup holders. This is like a nice vinyl material, and they do have the lap seat belt, a little bit of storage below here, and then this one has that 12-inch display. Let's go ahead and slide over here real quickly. You guys know that they do illuminate this. This is the only truck in this segment that gives you lights for that. Laramie badge. And I want to show this because they're starting to show up more in the trucks. So if you plan on hauling a bed camper, that's what this is for. I will show you the payload here at the end, as I always do. Okay. And you guys see the capacity is 1,826 pounds. I want to say the limited Ram that I did today had a higher number, and it had air suspension. So I know that truck had more features than this one did. So yeah, be sure to check out that video I did. It's a 2026 Ram 2500 Limited with that nice ebony red interior. So you guys see up there, a little bit of power. And I know that some people will say that even though this is a stock sound system for Laramie, this sound system is killer. I will say, the Harman Kardon is nice, but if I had to get one of these with the Alpine, I would not complain because it's super nice. This is a 10-way seat. You guys see the suede? I like this better than the cloth that the Limiteds have too, by the way. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy up so that you guys can see. As you guys heard me say outside, there's no 360 camera on this truck. So that's all you get. It's the only camera on this rig. You guys see down below, you have dual stage exhaust, tow haul. You can actually turn off the front and rear parking sensors individually. 4 USBs, coin holder with a little bit of storage, 115 volt power plug. I would prefer having the center console. I just like that overall styling on that better because you just have better storage too. You can drop the tailgate, LED lights, home link. I would consider this to be a more base Laramie trim too. And I like that they give you that black headliner too. This goes really well with this interior. But let's go ahead and take this truck for a drive, and then I will show you guys the payload capacity on this truck. The reason why I'm driving this truck is really in part to the fact that I just drove a Limited with air suspension, and I haven't driven a Ram truck in the 3/4 ton segment for a while without it. So I wanted to really get a feel for this truck. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, the main reason why you buy these 3/4 ton trucks is because you don't have to do this anymore, right? You don't have to run that tire pressure at 80 PSI. You can run that bad boy down to 65, especially if you're only just cruising around, not towing. Now, if you plan on towing a trailer, I probably would lift that up to about maybe 75 to max for sure, depending on how much weight you plan on putting back there. You will see the payload here in a second, but just right out of the gate driving this truck, there's not a big difference on how the truck feels on the road. Now, this truck has the 18, so you have to keep that in the back of your mind. These trucks are going to ride a little bit better with more sidewall, right? So if they had 20s, it could ride a little stiffer, but it won't really change much because the coiled multi-link suspension back there does help quite a bit. Now, this having a solid front axle, it does still ride like a truck for sure. But yeah, overall, it's not too bad. I will say too, with the 18s, there's just a little bit more sway that you feel, and that's what max PSI in the tire. So imagine when you're running it down to 65, it might actually feel a little bit more squirrelier if you're not maxing that tire pressure out when you're planning on towing. But yeah, overall, you guys see the steering wheel. I don't have to hold it. Like, it's literally tracking really well with these 18s and these El Cheapo tires. But I want to go on this back road really quickly because I want you guys to get a feel for how it feels on that bumpier road. I have that exhaust brake on right now. Hopefully you guys can see, like, look how strong the exhaust brake is. You can really hear it too. I feel like it's a little bit more audible compared to just those 2024 and earlier pickup trucks. 2018 and earlier, man, it was still loud. But on this road, you can kind of probably see there's a little bit more bumps on this road. So even at max PSI, it's definitely stiffer. You can feel more of the bumps in the road with this coil suspension compared to the air. Like, I can feel it in my chest, right? I can feel it in the back of the seat. But it's not bad. Like, if you were driving this truck back to back to a half ton, that's the only way you would really notice a big difference. And I will tell you, the brake feel in the Ram trucks is super nice. And having that stronger exhaust brake, you know, that alone is the main reason why I'd buy a Ram over the competition. Ford's is a lot better than it was from 2022 and earlier, but Ram just really hits it out of the park. I mean, it's just so consistent. You can hear it. Hopefully you guys can hear that, but every time I take my foot off the gas, excuse me, look at that. Look at the speed. It's just dropping. And they give you a nice little indicator to show you that thing working too. Watch right here. You can see it. Man, big torque. Yeah. You guys ready to see the payload capacity on this truck? go ahead and check it out. Gross axle weight rating out front is going to be 6,000 pounds. The rear is 6,040 pounds. Gross vehicle rating is 11,040. 18 by 8 wide wheels. All in payload capacity is 2,786 pounds. 60 psi out the front, 65 in the rear. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, if you're getting a 3/4 ton truck and you don't tow often, maybe tow your boat, which is only 8,000 pounds. By all means, you could probably keep that tire pressure where it's at, you know, with where the door has it at. But if you're planning to maybe tow a 2,000 pound hitch weighted trailer, you might want to push it up to what, maybe 75 or so. But yeah, be sure to support this content. See you guys soon.